Ever wondered about Cleopatra's untold secrets? This sleep-inducing journey unveils her hidden life, from humble beginnings to imperial power. Uncover her fascinating rise to greatness. Chapters include early life, rise to power, Roman affairs, and legacy. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more historical mysteries. So, you're ready to delve into the enigma that is Cleopatra? Let's begin with her name, a whisper on the wind of history. Imagine the power it held. Even then, a name synonymous with beauty, cunning, and unparalleled ambition. It's a name that echoes across millennia, a testament to a woman who defied expectations and carved her place amongst the giants of the ancient world. You'll discover that her legacy is far more complex than the tales often told. Cleopatra wasn't just a pretty face. She was a shrewd strategist, a master manipulator who navigated the treacherous political landscape of her time. Think of the calculated risks she took, the alliances she forged, and the enemies she made. Her story isn't just about romance and tragedy. It's a thrilling tale of political intrigue and survival. Prepare to discover the hidden layers of her personality, the complexities that made her such a fascinating and enduring figure. You might already know some of the broad strokes of her story, her relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, her dramatic downfall. But tonight we'll explore the untold stories, the whispers from the shadows. We'll uncover the secrets behind her power, the ingenious strategies she employed, and the enduring impact she left on the world. We'll peel back the layers of myth and legend to reveal the real Cleopatra, a woman far more complex and fascinating than you ever imagined. So you've heard of Cleopatra, but do you know the stage on which her drama unfolded? Picture this: the Ptolemaic kingdom, a vibrant, powerful entity, a Greek dynasty ruling over Egypt. It wasn't a natural fit, you see. Alexander the Great's conquests had left a power vacuum, and one of his generals, Ptolemy, seized the opportunity, establishing a lineage that would dominate for centuries. Imagine the clash of cultures, the grandeur of Alexandria, a city brimming with knowledge and intrigue, a melting pot of Greek and Egyptian influences, setting the scene for the story of Cleopatra. But power, like the Nile itself, can be both a source of life and destruction. Generations of Ptolemies followed, some wise, some cruel, their reigns marked by both prosperity and internal strife. Think of the lavish lifestyles, the immense wealth accumulated, the intricate political maneuvering, the ever-present threat of rebellion and foreign invasion. It was a world of extravagant palaces and hidden plots, where alliances were forged and broken with equal ease. You'll see how this legacy shaped Cleopatra and the challenges she faced. By Cleopatra's time, the kingdom was weakened, its glory fading. Internal conflicts and the looming shadow of Roman expansion threatened to extinguish the Ptolemaic flame. The once unstoppable dynasty was now vulnerable, clinging to power amidst a storm of political turmoil. Imagine the pressure, the weight of history, the desperate struggle to maintain control in a world on the brink of change. This was the world into which Cleopatra was born, a world she would inherit and ultimately reshape, though not without a fight. So picture this: Alexandria, a city unlike any other. Imagine yourself strolling along its bustling streets, a cacophony of sounds and smells washing over you. The air hums with the energy of 1,000 different lives, merchants haggling, philosophers debating, artisans crafting exquisite works of art. You're surrounded by towering columns, grand palaces, and the imposing lighthouse, a beacon visible for miles across the sea. This wasn't just a city, it was a melting pot of cultures, a hub of innovation, and the beating heart of the Ptolemaic kingdom. The Library of Alexandria, a legendary repository of knowledge, stood as a testament to the city's intellectual prowess. Imagine the sheer volume of scrolls, the weight of history contained within its walls. Scholars from across the known world flocked here, their minds ignited by the vast collection of texts. This wasn't just a library, it was a crucible, where new ideas were forged, where knowledge was shared, and where the future of learning was shaped. You could almost feel the energy of discovery in the very air. Beyond the scholarly pursuits, Alexandria pulsed with a vibrant cultural life. Think of the magnificent theaters, where dramatic performances captivated audiences, and the bustling harbors, teeming with ships from across the Mediterranean. You might catch a glimpse of exotic goods, hear the calls of foreign merchants, and feel the energy of a city brimming with life and opportunity. This city was a spectacle of sights and sounds, a true wonder of the ancient world. It was a city where dreams were built and fortunes were made. A city where Cleopatra herself would rise to power. So you're already getting a feel for Alexandria, right? But to truly understand Cleopatra, you need to understand her bloodline. She wasn't just some ambitious queen who clawed her way to the top. She was a direct descendant of the Ptolemaic dynasty, a lineage stretching back to Ptolemy I Soter, one of Alexander the Great's generals. Imagine the weight of that history, the echoes of powerful ancestors whispering in her ears. This dynasty, remember, was Greek in origin, ruling Egypt after Alexander's death. Cleopatra herself was the last active ruler of this line, a testament to the complexities of her identity. She was Greek, Egyptian, Macedonian, a fascinating blend of cultures that shaped her rule and her legacy. Think about the pressures she faced, inheriting a kingdom teetering on the brink, constantly navigating political intrigue. Her lineage wasn't just a matter of noble birth, it was a powerful tool. It gave her a claim to the throne, a connection to a long and prestigious history, but it also presented challenges. The Ptolemaic dynasty had been plagued by internal conflicts, brother marrying sister, power struggles, and assassinations. Cleopatra had to navigate this treacherous inheritance, using her intelligence and cunning to solidify her power. So her lineage. Imagine you're a princess in Alexandria, not just any princess, but a descendant of the Ptolemies, a dynasty tracing its roots back to Alexander the Great himself. You're surrounded by tutors, scholars, and courtiers, all vying for your attention and shaping your mind. Your education isn't just about needlepoint and courtly dances, though you're certainly adept at those. It's a rigorous intellectual pursuit, encompassing languages, philosophy, and politics. You learn to speak several languages fluently, mastering Greek, Egyptian, and possibly even Aramaic. You understand the intricacies of Egyptian society, the power dynamics within the court, and the delicate balance of maintaining alliances with Rome. You're taught rhetoric, diplomacy, and strategic thinking, essential skills for navigating the treacherous waters of Ptolemaic politics. You're not just learning to be a queen, you're learning to be a ruler, a shrewd negotiator, a leader who can command respect and loyalty, and you absorb it all, not passively, but with a keen and ambitious mind. Think of the weight of expectation on your young shoulders, the legacy of a dynasty, the responsibility of a kingdom. But you're not intimidated. You embrace the challenge. Your education isn't just a preparation for your future, it's the foundation upon which you will build your own power. You learn to wield influence subtly, to read people, to anticipate their moves. You are learning to play the game of power, and you are learning it well. So you're Cleopatra, a Ptolemy princess navigating the treacherous waters of Alexandrian politics. Imagine the pressure, powerful men vying for influence, whispering conspiracies in the shadows of the great library. Your uncle Ptolemy XIII is your co-regent, but his advisors are constantly plotting, and you're just a teenager, thrown into a world of courtly intrigue and backstabbing. You're not just playing a role, you're fighting for survival. Every decision, every alliance is a gamble. Your brother Ptolemy XIII, while your co-ruler, isn't exactly your biggest fan. He's surrounded by ambitious individuals who see you as a threat, a young woman who could easily usurp his power. They'll stop at nothing to undermine you. You need to be clever, and you need to be ruthless. Your survival depends on your ability to outmaneuver them, to form strategic alliances, to play the game of power with skill and grace. It's a constant dance, a delicate balance of charm and strength. You're not just a princess, you're a strategist, a negotiator, a master of political manipulation. You'll need every ounce of your wit and cunning to survive this. So there you were, a young Cleopatra, facing the brutal reality of power struggles within your own family. Your sister Arsinoe was a formidable opponent, equally ambitious and equally entitled to the throne. The whispers in the court were venomous, each one a poisoned dart aimed at your legitimacy. You saw the subtle alliances forming, the shifting sands of support threatening to bury your aspirations. You needed allies, and fast. Every smile, every seemingly casual conversation was a calculated move. The weight of expectation, the threat of your sister's ambition, it all pressed down on you, but you were a Ptolemy. After all, the blood of kings ran in your veins. You possessed a keen intellect, a sharp wit, and a burning desire to prove yourself worthy of the crown. The struggle wasn't just about power, it was about survival. Arsinoe's supporters were powerful, influential men who saw you as a threat. They plotted, they schemed, and they used every dirty trick in the book to undermine you. But you were learning, adapting, and growing stronger with each challenge. You were sharpening your skills, honing your instincts, and preparing for the inevitable clash. So you're a young queen navigating treacherous waters. Then the Romans arrive. Julius Caesar, a name that would soon echo through history, lands on your shores. Imagine the tension, the whispers in the palace, the shifting alliances. He's not just a general, he's a force of nature, and you, Cleopatra, are about to become entangled in his ambitions. Your survival, your reign, everything hangs in the balance. You see an opportunity, a chance to use Caesar's might to solidify your power, to crush your enemies, to secure your place as the undisputed ruler of Egypt. But it's a dangerous game. Alliance with Rome could mean the end of Egypt's independence, yet inaction might mean the end of your reign, and perhaps your life. The stakes couldn't be higher. You play your cards carefully. Your charm, your intelligence, your strategic mind, all are weapons in this intricate dance of power. You win Caesar over, not just as an ally, but as something more. Their alliance becomes a pivotal moment, shaping the destiny of Egypt and the course of Roman history. It's a gamble, of course, one that could lead to glorious victory or utter ruin. So Caesar's in Alexandria. You, a young queen facing a crumbling kingdom, see an opportunity. An alliance with the powerful Roman general isn't just about survival, it's about securing your reign. Imagine the calculated risk, the delicate dance of power. You're not just playing the game, you're rewriting the rules. This wasn't a mere political marriage, it was a strategic masterstroke, a gamble for the future of Egypt. Think about it, a Roman army at your disposal, suddenly internal threats seem less daunting. Your rivals, the ambitious members of your own family, now face a formidable force. This alliance wasn't just about military might, it was about securing your legitimacy as the rightful ruler of Egypt, silencing dissenters, and consolidating your power. But this wasn't a simple transaction. You had to navigate the complexities of Roman politics, understanding Caesar's ambitions, his own power struggles back in Rome. It was a game of chess played on a global scale, where every move had far-reaching consequences. Your intelligence, your charm, and your strategic brilliance were your most potent weapons. You were playing for keeps, and the stakes were higher than ever before. So there you are, facing Caesar. He's seen queens, powerful women, but you're different. You don't just meet him, you command his attention. Forget the political maneuvering for a moment. This is about raw charisma. You speak his language, not just literally, but in a way that resonates deep within him. You understand power, not just as a ruler, but as a force of nature. It's not just your beauty, though that certainly plays a part. It's the way you hold yourself, the intelligence in your eyes, your subtle command of the room. He's accustomed to subservience, to flattery. You offer him something else entirely, a challenge, a partnership perhaps, but one where you're very much an equal. You understand the intricacies of Roman politics, you anticipate his desires, and you offer him not just an alliance but an adventure. You are a mystery he wants to unravel, a puzzle he's determined to solve, and in his conquest of Egypt, you become the most fascinating prize of all. You weave your magic, not with spells and potions, but with words and wit. You charm him, you intrigue him, you captivate him. It's not seduction, not in the simplistic sense. It's a masterful performance, a carefully orchestrated dance of power and allure. You are the queen of Egypt, and you are playing the game of your life, and you are winning. The Roman general, hardened by years of war, finds himself utterly, hopelessly enthralled. That encounter with Caesar wasn't just a political game. You see, it blossomed into something far more profound, a bond forged in ambition, perhaps, but one that also held a surprising tenderness. And from that connection, a child was born, Caesarion, the son of a queen and a Roman emperor, a child destined for greatness, or perhaps destined for tragedy. His birth was a secret, whispered in the gilded halls of Alexandria, a secret that held the power to reshape the destiny of Egypt itself. Imagine the hushed excitement, the anticipation, the weight of expectation on those tiny shoulders, even before he drew his first breath. He was a symbol of power, a bridge between two worlds, a testament to your cunning and your undeniable influence. Caesarion wasn't just a child, he was a pawn in a larger game, a strategic alliance solidified by the most intimate of bonds. But beyond the politics, he was your son, your legacy. His very existence threatened the established order, the delicate balance of power in Rome and Egypt. His birth was a bold statement, a declaration of your ambition and your refusal to be confined by societal norms. He was a symbol of your defiance, your strength, your unwavering will to secure your dynasty's future. And his future, just like yours, was far from certain. The seeds of both triumph and tragedy were sown with his first cry. But the intoxicating whirlwind of their romance was about to be violently interrupted. Imagine the shock, the disbelief, the news of Caesar's assassination ripping through Rome like a wildfire. You can almost feel the tremor in the ground, the sudden chilling silence that followed the chaos. His death left a gaping hole, a power vacuum that threatened to swallow everything whole. For Cleopatra, this wasn't just the loss of a lover, it was the collapse of a carefully constructed alliance, a foundation upon which her ambitions rested. Suddenly, the political landscape shifted dramatically. Rome descended into a bloody struggle for power, a brutal game of thrones played out amongst Caesar's ambitious rivals. The stability Cleopatra had so carefully cultivated evaporated. You might feel a sense of foreboding watching the Roman Republic crumble, its pillars of power shaken to their foundations. The future felt uncertain, a treacherous path fraught with danger and intrigue. Cleopatra, ever the pragmatist, had to navigate this treacherous new world with cunning and resilience. The assassination didn't just create a power vacuum in Rome, it created one in Egypt too. Those who had once looked to Caesar for protection now looked to Cleopatra, and her position, previously secure through her alliance with Caesar, was suddenly precarious. You can only imagine the pressure, the weight of an entire kingdom resting on her shoulders. Now imagine the political landscape shifting beneath your feet. Caesar's gone, leaving a power vacuum in Rome. Into this chaos strides Mark Antony, a charismatic general with ambitions as vast as the Egyptian desert. He arrives in Alexandria, a figure both powerful and dangerous, seeking an alliance with the woman who holds the key to Egypt's immense wealth and resources. You can almost feel the tension in the air, the unspoken power plays between these two extraordinary individuals. Cleopatra, ever the shrewd strategist, sees in Antony a chance to secure her position and perhaps even expand her influence. Their initial meetings are a dance of power, a careful negotiation of alliances and ambitions. Remember, you're witnessing history in the making, a meeting that will reshape the fate of Egypt and the Roman world. The air crackles with anticipation, a palpable sense of destiny hanging heavy in the opulent palaces of Alexandria. This wasn't just a political alliance, it was a gamble, a high-stakes game of love and war. Antony, captivated by Cleopatra's beauty and intelligence, finds himself drawn into her world. You can feel the intoxicating pull of their connection, a bond forged in the fires of ambition and desire. But this new alliance, seemingly unshakable, will face challenges beyond imagination. The future, once again, hangs precariously in the balance. So Antony arrives in Alexandria. You've already heard whispers of Cleopatra's legendary beauty and sharp mind, but seeing her, experiencing her charm firsthand, that's something else entirely. He's captivated, instantly drawn into her world of intrigue and power. Forget Rome's political games for a moment. This is a different kind of power, a potent blend of seduction and strategic brilliance. Their partnership wasn't just a romantic entanglement, it was a shrewd political alliance. Cleopatra, with her intimate knowledge of Egypt's resources and her unparalleled ability to manipulate those around her, provided Antony with a formidable base of power and wealth. He, in turn, offered her military protection and the prestige of Rome's support. It was a marriage of convenience, yes, but also one born of mutual respect and ambition. Together, they challenged the established order. They ruled over a vast empire, a potent combination of Roman military might and Egyptian wealth. Think of the lavish feasts, the opulent celebrations, the power plays, a whirlwind of luxury and intrigue. But beneath the surface of this dazzling partnership lay the seeds of their eventual downfall. The combination of their power threatened many, and the consequences were about to become very clear. He was captivated, yes, but Rome wasn't a land of carefree romance. You see, back home, a brutal power struggle was raging. Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, and Mark Antony were locked in a deadly game of political chess, each vying for ultimate control of the Roman Empire. Cleopatra, shrewd as she was, understood this immediately. Her alliance with Antony wasn't just a love story, it was a strategic move, a gamble on a man who could give her the power to protect Egypt's sovereignty. Cleopatra knew that aligning with Antony meant directly confronting Octavian, a formidable opponent with a powerful army and considerable political influence. This wasn't just a fight for territory, it was a clash of empires, and Egypt's fate hung precariously in the balance. She had to play her cards carefully, using her intellect and charm to navigate the treacherous political landscape, ensuring Egypt's survival amidst the Roman turmoil. Imagine the pressure, the constant maneuvering, the subtle betrayals and shifting alliances. Every decision Cleopatra made carried immense weight, impacting not only her own life, but the fate of an entire civilization. She had to be both a lover and a warrior, a queen and a strategist, playing the game of Roman politics with skill and unwavering resolve. Her legacy wouldn't just be defined by romance, it would be forged in the fires of political conflict. So that brutal power struggle, it culminated at the Battle of Actium. Imagine it, a massive naval clash off the coast of Greece. You're there, feeling the salty spray on your face, the roar of the oars, the screams of men. Antony and Cleopatra, their combined fleets, faced Octavian's forces. It was a fight for everything: their empire, their lives, their love. Antony's fleet, initially strong, began to falter. Octavian's superior tactics and better-trained legions started to win the day. You can almost feel the shift in momentum, the tide turning against them. The air thickens with smoke and the cries of the dying. It was a brutal, desperate fight, a clash of titans that would determine the fate of an empire. Seeing the inevitable defeat, Antony, heartbroken and disillusioned, turned his back on the fight. He couldn't bear to see Cleopatra suffer. You can imagine the weight of his decision, the crushing despair as he watched his world crumble around him. The Battle of Actium was lost, and with it, a way of life. The Ptolemaic dynasty's grip on Egypt was loosening its hold. The aftermath of Actium was swift and brutal. You saw Antony and Cleopatra flee, their dreams of a powerful empire shattered. Octavian, the future Augustus, pursued them relentlessly. Imagine the weight of his victory, the crushing power he now wielded over the Mediterranean. He was no longer just a rising star, he was the sun itself, eclipsing all others. Egypt, once a beacon of independence, was now vulnerable. You watched as Octavian's legions marched, their disciplined ranks a stark contrast to the fading grandeur of Cleopatra's court. The once impregnable walls of Alexandria were no match for Roman might. The weight of history, the crushing reality of defeat, began to settle upon the city. The final act played out in Alexandria itself. You felt the tension, the palpable fear hanging in the air. Cleopatra's defiance, her legendary cunning, couldn't withstand the crushing weight of the Roman army. The once mighty queen, symbol of an era, was now facing her inevitable end. Her story, a tapestry woven with ambition, power, and ultimately tragedy, was drawing to a close. Imagine the desperation, the weight of a crumbling empire pressing down on your shoulders. Octavian's legions were closing in. Alexandria was under siege, and Antony, your lover and co-ruler, had seemingly abandoned you. You, Cleopatra, the last pharaoh, were facing your final hours. The once grand palaces of Alexandria were echoing with the sounds of war, a stark contrast to the opulent feasts and intellectual gatherings you once hosted. Rumors swirled, betrayal, escape attempts, and desperate negotiations. But you knew the game was over. The Roman eagle, symbol of inevitable conquest, was about to claim Egypt. You had ruled with intelligence, charm, and a formidable will, but even your legendary cunning couldn't change the tide of history. The weight of centuries of Ptolemaic rule rested upon you, a burden you were soon to relinquish. The final act played out within the confines of your own mausoleum. A story whispered through the ages, shrouded in mystery and speculation. A venomous asp, a loyal servant, or a self-administered dose of poison. The exact manner of your death remains elusive, a testament to your enduring mystique. But one thing is certain, you chose your own exit, refusing to be paraded through the streets of Rome as a trophy of conquest. So Antony's gone. You're alone, the queen of a kingdom teetering on the brink. The whispers started almost immediately. Poison, a snake bite, a self-inflicted wound. Historians have debated for centuries. Was it a swift, decisive end, or a slow, agonizing decline? The truth, like so much about Cleopatra, remains shrouded in mystery. Some say she chose death rather than face Octavian's humiliation. Imagine the pride, the fierce independence that fueled her reign, to be paraded through Rome as a captive, a fate worse than death, perhaps. This theory paints her as a woman of unparalleled strength, choosing her own destiny even in the face of defeat. Others point to the asp, a venomous snake, as the instrument of her demise, a swift, silent end, fitting perhaps for a queen who ruled with such grace and power. But even this seemingly simple explanation is fraught with speculation. Was it truly a snake, or something else entirely? The mystery persists. The truth, my friend, may forever remain elusive, but Cleopatra's legacy, her defiance, her intelligence, her undeniable impact on history, that's something that will endure. What do you believe happened? Let me know in the comments below. So the rumors swirled, and the truth remains elusive. But even in death, Cleopatra's influence continued to shape history. Think about it. Her story became a legend, a potent mix of power, ambition, and undeniable tragedy. She was a queen who defied expectations, ruling in a world dominated by men. Her image, even now, speaks volumes about strength and resilience, a reminder that even against impossible odds, a woman could rise to the top. Shakespeare immortalized her in his plays, solidifying her image in the collective consciousness. For centuries, artists and writers have reinterpreted her life, often romanticizing her, sometimes demonizing her, but always keeping her at the forefront of their narratives. She became a symbol, a muse, an icon that transcended time and culture. You've heard of her, haven't you? Even today, her name evokes a potent image of power and mystery. Cleopatra's legacy isn't just about her life. It's about the enduring power of storytelling. Her story continues to fascinate because it speaks to our own desires for power, love, and the struggle against overwhelming odds. She represents the enduring fascination with the mysterious and the powerful. She reminds us that even in the face of defeat, a legacy can live on, forever shaping the way we understand history and the human condition. So her legacy. You've heard the whispers, the legends, but how did Cleopatra's impact truly ripple through time? Think about it. Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, a play that cemented her image in the collective consciousness for centuries. It wasn't just a historical account. It was a dramatic masterpiece that shaped how you and I even perceive her today. Her story, a potent blend of romance, intrigue, and power, became a timeless narrative. And then there's the art. Countless paintings, sculptures, and films have depicted her, each interpretation adding another layer to the myth. From the seductive queen to the cunning strategist, her image has been reimagined and reinterpreted countless times, constantly evolving and reflecting the values and perspectives of each era. She's become an icon, a symbol of power, beauty, and mystery. Even today, her name evokes fascination. You see her influence in fashion, literature, and popular culture. Cleopatra's story continues to inspire artists, writers, and filmmakers, proving that her impact transcends time. She's more than just a historical figure. She's a timeless archetype, a symbol of enduring allure and power. Her legend lives on, a testament to the enduring power of a captivating life. So let's separate fact from fiction. You've seen the glamorous portrayals, the seductive queen, the mastermind strategist. But how much of that is actually true? Historians have spent centuries trying to untangle the legend from the reality of Cleopatra. Her image, meticulously crafted throughout her reign and amplified after her death, is a powerful testament to her political savvy. But remember, even the most carefully crafted image has its cracks. Think about the stories you've heard: the venomous asp, the passionate affair with Mark Antony, the extravagant lifestyle. While some elements are supported by historical accounts, others are embellishments, exaggerations, or outright fabrications added over time. Many of these tales emerged during and after the Roman conquest, serving as both propaganda and entertainment, often shaping Cleopatra's image to suit the political needs of the time. Remember, history is written by the victors. Rome, having conquered Egypt, certainly had its own narrative to promote. So, while the romantic tales and dramatic deaths are captivating, they often overshadow the remarkable political acumen and intellectual abilities that allowed Cleopatra to rule for so long in a turbulent time. Separating the myth from the reality helps us appreciate her true legacy, a legacy far more complex and fascinating than any single story can capture. So how has history actually seen Cleopatra? Forget the Hollywood versions for a moment. Early Roman depictions, often on coins and busts, show a regal woman, but not necessarily the alluring seductress we're used to. They emphasized her power and status as a queen, focusing on her imperial authority rather than her romantic life. Think strong lines, dignified poses, and the weight of a crown. You'll see a different story told than the one you might expect. Later artistic interpretations, particularly during the Renaissance and beyond, started to lean more towards the romantic and even scandalous portrayals. Artists influenced by Shakespeare's dramatic version of her life often depicted her as a femme fatale, emphasizing her beauty and seductive power. Think flowing fabrics, intense gazes, and a sense of mystery. This is where the legend really takes shape, a far cry from those early Roman representations. But remember, you're looking at interpretations, not necessarily accurate portraits. Each era projects its own values and biases onto her image. The modern interpretations, influenced by both classical and modern media, continue to shape our understanding, often creating a complex and often contradictory picture. From powerful queen to tragic figure to seductive sorceress, her image is a chameleon, reflecting the times that portray her. So beyond those Roman coins, how did Cleopatra become a legend in the world of literature? You might be surprised. She wasn't just a footnote in history books, she became a muse, inspiring writers and poets for centuries. Think of Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, a powerful portrayal, though perhaps not entirely historically accurate, of her fierce intelligence and undeniable charisma. It's a testament to her enduring impact that she continues to captivate imaginations. From Shakespeare to countless other works, Cleopatra's story has been retold and reimagined countless times. She represents more than just a historical figure. She embodies power, ambition, and undeniable allure. These literary interpretations, even when they take liberties, reflect her lasting influence and the way she's become a symbol of both triumph and tragedy. It's a captivating legacy that continues to resonate with readers and audiences today. You see, her story is more than just facts and dates. It's a narrative woven into the very fabric of our cultural imagination. Think about it. How many other historical figures have had such a profound and lasting influence on literature and the arts? Cleopatra's enduring presence in literature serves as a testament to her captivating life and the enduring power of her story. She's not just a queen of the past, she's a timeless muse who continues to inspire. So from Shakespeare's stage to Hollywood's silver screen, Cleopatra's story has been endlessly reimagined. Think about it. She's been portrayed as everything from a cunning seductress to a powerful queen fighting for her kingdom. Each interpretation reflects the time period and the biases of the storyteller, right? It's fascinating how drastically different these portrayals can be. You've seen her on screen, maybe even read countless books about her. But how much of what you know is actually historical fact, and how much is a carefully constructed narrative built up over centuries? It's a testament to her enduring impact that she continues to inspire artists and filmmakers even today. These modern interpretations aren't just about entertainment. They're also about exploring themes of power, ambition, and cultural clash. They allow us to grapple with questions about how history is written, who gets to write it, and how our perspectives shape our understanding of the past. It's a continuously evolving story. But what about Cleopatra's beauty? Was it just legend, or was there something truly captivating about her? Ancient sources paint a picture of a woman with striking features. Imagine her dark, mesmerizing eyes, a captivating gaze that held people spellbound. They spoke of a regal bearing, a confident poise that commanded attention. Her allure wasn't just about physical perfection, it was an aura, a presence that made her unforgettable. Her intelligence and charisma undoubtedly enhanced her natural beauty. Think about it, she was a master strategist, a skilled diplomat, and a shrewd political player. This inner strength radiated outward, adding another layer to her captivating presence. It wasn't just about physical attractiveness, it was the combination of beauty, intelligence, and power that made her so magnetic. And remember, beauty standards change across time and cultures. What was considered beautiful then might be different now, but Cleopatra's impact suggests a timeless quality to her allure. Her image has been recreated countless times, always captivating audiences. Maybe it's because her beauty transcended the purely physical, reflecting her strength and intelligence. But Cleopatra's allure wasn't just about her looks. You see, she possessed a sharp mind, a strategic brilliance that allowed her to navigate the treacherous political landscape of her time. She wasn't just a queen, she was a master strategist, expertly playing the Romans against each other, using her charm and intellect to secure her power. Think of the intricate web of alliances she spun, the delicate balance she maintained, a true testament to her political acumen. She understood the power of language, using diplomacy and persuasion to sway even the most powerful men. Imagine her commanding presence, her words carefully chosen, her voice carrying the weight of authority and allure. It wasn't just about brute force, it was about understanding human nature, exploiting weaknesses, and forging unexpected alliances. This was her secret weapon, far more potent than any army. Her ability to learn and adapt was crucial to her survival. She mastered multiple languages, understood Roman customs and politics, and used this knowledge to her advantage. She wasn't just reacting to events, she was shaping them, anticipating her opponent's moves, and always several steps ahead. This foresight, this intellectual agility, allowed her to not only survive, but to thrive in a world dominated by men. So you think Cleopatra was just a pretty face? Think again. Her political skills were as sharp as any Roman blade. She understood power, not just as a queen, but as a master strategist. She played the Romans against each other, using their ambitions and rivalries to her advantage. This wasn't just about charm, it was about calculated moves, about knowing exactly who to support and when to strike. She mastered the art of diplomacy, weaving intricate alliances and forging powerful connections. Imagine the pressure, constantly maneuvering between powerful Roman figures, each with their own agendas. Yet she thrived in this chaos, using her intelligence and wit to secure her position and the future of Egypt. She wasn't just reacting, she was shaping events, carefully orchestrating the political landscape to her benefit. Cleopatra understood that true power wasn't just about military might, although she certainly commanded respect in that area too. It was about influence, about persuasion, about knowing when to compromise and when to stand firm. She played the game with exceptional skill, always several steps ahead of her opponents, securing her reign through a blend of charm, intelligence, and ruthless pragmatism. You could say she was the ultimate political chess master. So you already know Cleopatra was a political powerhouse, right? But her brilliance went beyond strategy. Imagine this. She wasn't just fluent in Egyptian, her native tongue. She was also a master of Greek, the language of scholarship and power in the Hellenistic world. This wasn't just about polite conversation. It was about accessing information, influencing key players, and forging alliances across cultures. Think about the implications. Negotiating treaties with Roman senators, she did it in their language. Charming foreign ambassadors, she effortlessly switched between tongues. This multilingual ability wasn't just a skill, it was a weapon, giving her an unparalleled advantage in the complex political landscape of her time. It allowed her to navigate the intricacies of diplomacy with ease, and it wasn't just Greek and Egyptian. Historians believe she also spoke other languages, possibly including Aramaic, a common trade language of the time. This linguistic prowess allowed her to communicate directly with a wider range of people, building trust and fostering relationships far beyond her immediate sphere of influence. It was a key ingredient to her success, of Greek, and even a smattering of other languages. This wasn't just about showing off, it was about power. Imagine her effortlessly navigating complex political negotiations, charming rulers from across the known world, all because she could speak their language, understand their customs, and anticipate their needs. That's the key to her success. You see, diplomacy wasn't just a tool, it was her weapon of choice. She used her linguistic skills to forge alliances, securing vital support during times of crisis. Think about it, she wasn't just ruling Egypt. She was weaving a complex web of international relationships, all carefully cultivated through her mastery of language and communication. She understood the power of persuasion, of making people feel understood and valued, a skill far more potent than any army. Cleopatra didn't just rely on words. Her diplomacy was a performance. She understood the importance of appearances, of cultivating an image of power and sophistication. She knew how to command a room, to use her charm and intellect to win over even her most formidable opponents. This wasn't passive diplomacy. It was active, strategic, and incredibly effective. It was a key component of her reign and her enduring legacy. So imagine Cleopatra's wardrobe. It wasn't just about clothes. It was about projecting power and allure. Think flowing silks and linens, shimmering with gold thread. She favored vibrant colors, deep blues, rich purples, and fiery reds, colors that spoke of royalty and divinity. These weren't just garments, they were statements. Each outfit carefully chosen to convey a specific message, depending on the occasion and the audience. Her jewelry was legendary. Think massive gold necklaces, intricately designed earrings dripping with precious stones, and bracelets crafted from the finest materials. She wore these adornments not just as decoration, but as symbols of her authority. They were a visual testament to her wealth, her power, and her divine connection to the gods. Each piece meticulously chosen to enhance her already striking appearance. And her hairstyles? Intricate braids, adorned with flowers and precious jewels, were a hallmark of her style. These weren't just casual arrangements, they were carefully crafted works of art, reflecting the sophistication and elegance of the Ptolemaic court. Think of the hours spent by her skilled hairdressers, creating these masterpieces, each strand meticulously placed to frame her face and enhance her beauty. It was all part of the image she carefully cultivated. So you've seen the glittering silks and jewels, but what about the whispers behind closed doors? Cleopatra's court wasn't just a parade of lavish displays. It was a complex web of intrigue, alliances, and betrayals. Imagine the hushed conversations in dimly lit chambers, the furtive glances exchanged across crowded halls. Power plays unfolded not just on the battlefield, but within the very walls of her palace. Think of the unseen machinations, the secret alliances forged and broken, the carefully crafted rumors that spread like wildfire. There were spies, informants, and double agents, all vying for Cleopatra's favor or working against her rivals. Decisions were made in the shadows, shaping the fate of Egypt and its people in ways you might never have imagined. It was a world of hidden agendas and calculated risks. You might picture grand feasts and public appearances, but the true power of Cleopatra's reign often resided in these private moments. The decisions made in these secret gatherings, the alliances forged, the betrayals plotted, these were the unseen forces that shaped her destiny and the fate of Egypt. It's a reminder that even the most public figures have private lives filled with complexities and secrets. Imagine the bustling kitchens of Cleopatra's palace, a whirlwind of activity hidden from the prying eyes of the court. You see the cooks, their faces streaked with flour and sweat, toiling over exotic spices and rare ingredients. Their lives, though unseen, were crucial to the smooth running of the queen's extravagant lifestyle. They held a unique position, privy to the daily routines and sometimes the secrets of the royal household. Think of the whispered conversations, the shared anxieties, and the quiet camaraderie forged in the heart of the palace's culinary chaos. Then there were the maids, their days filled with the endless tasks of cleaning, dressing, and attending to the queen's personal needs. Their lives were intertwined with Cleopatra's every move, offering a glimpse into her private world. You might picture them sharing stories, their laughter echoing softly in the dimly lit chambers, their gossip a hushed counterpoint to the grandeur of the palace. These women, though often overlooked, were the silent witnesses to history unfolding around them. Their loyalty and discretion were as vital to Cleopatra's reign as the strength of her armies. Beyond the immediate servants, consider the artisans, the weavers, the sculptors, the jewelers, whose skills contributed to the opulent image of Cleopatra. Their workshops, filled with the sounds of hammers and chisels, the scent of dyes and precious metals, were hidden havens of creativity. You can almost hear the rhythmic clinking of metal, the hushed concentration, as they poured their talent into crafting the objects that would adorn the queen and her court, each piece a small but significant part of her larger story. These skilled individuals, too, played their part in shaping the legend of Cleopatra. Now imagine this. You're exploring the hidden chambers beneath Cleopatra's palace, a labyrinth of forgotten corridors echoing with the whispers of centuries. Dust motes dance in the faint light filtering through cracks in the ancient stone, illuminating the glint of something precious, a lost artifact. Perhaps it's a delicate gold necklace once adorning Cleopatra's neck, or maybe a fragment of a priceless sculpture depicting a forgotten god. These treasures, lost to time, hold the secrets of a queen's untold opulence. Think of the stories these artifacts could tell, tales of lavish feasts, whispered conspiracies, and the immense power wielded by a woman who defied expectations. Picture a jeweled dagger, its hilt inlaid with precious stones, perhaps a gift from a foreign king, or a delicate ivory comb, a seemingly insignificant object that once held a queen's hair. Each piece speaks volumes, hinting at a life of unparalleled luxury and intrigue, a life you can only dream of. These lost treasures, buried for millennia, are more than just beautiful objects. They are fragments of a life, whispers of a legend. Imagine unearthing a hidden scroll, its ancient ink barely visible, containing secrets only Cleopatra knew. Or perhaps a small, intricately carved scarab beetle, a powerful amulet imbued with ancient magic. These are the things that make history come alive, the tangible connections to a queen who still captivates us today. Imagine you're sifting through the sands of time, uncovering fragments of Cleopatra's world. Archaeologists have unearthed stunning artifacts, intricate jewelry hinting at her opulent lifestyle, carved stones bearing her regal insignia, and even remnants of her famed perfume recipes, each piece whispering tales of her power and influence. You can almost feel the weight of history in your hands. Recent discoveries at the submerged city of Alexandria have been especially revealing. You might picture divers carefully excavating ancient ruins, uncovering mosaics depicting scenes from Cleopatra's life, or perhaps a beautifully preserved statue, hinting at the artistry of her court. These underwater finds paint a vivid picture of a sophisticated and powerful civilization, a glimpse into a world lost to the sea. These archaeological finds aren't just pretty objects, they're key pieces of a historical puzzle. You're witnessing how each discovery helps historians unravel the mysteries surrounding Cleopatra's reign, revealing new details about her political strategies, her personal life, and the cultural richness of her era. It's a process of continuous revelation, constantly rewriting the narrative of this iconic queen. So you've unearthed Cleopatra's opulent life, her political maneuvering, her romances, but where did this extraordinary queen finally rest? That's the enduring mystery, isn't it? The location of her tomb remains one of history's most tantalizing unsolved puzzles. Generations of archaeologists have searched, driven by the allure of uncovering the final resting place of a legend. Imagine the grandeur it must have held, a monument befitting a queen who ruled an empire. Think of the treasures it might contain, priceless artifacts, stunning jewelry, perhaps even clues to the secrets she guarded throughout her life. The search continues, fueled by whispers of hidden chambers and cryptic clues scattered throughout ancient texts. Some believe her tomb lies hidden somewhere beneath the sands of Alexandria, swallowed by the relentless sea. Others point to the vast necropolis of Taposiris Magna, where recent excavations have yielded intriguing discoveries. But the truth, like Cleopatra herself, remains elusive, a captivating enigma that continues to fascinate and inspire. So you're wondering about Cleopatra's family life, right? It wasn't exactly a Hallmark card. She was the daughter of Ptolemy XII Auliti, a king known for his eccentricities, to put it mildly. Her mother's identity remains a bit of a mystery, adding to the intrigue. Cleopatra's siblings were equally important players in the power struggle that defined her early life. Think sibling rivalry on a colossal scale, with the throne of Egypt as the ultimate prize. It was a cutthroat world, and family loyalty often took a back seat to ambition. Cleopatra's relationships with her brothers were, to say the least, complicated. Ptolemy XIII, her younger brother, became her co-regent and eventually her husband, a common practice in the Ptolemaic dynasty, but one that certainly didn't guarantee harmony. Their relationship was a volatile mix of power struggles and perhaps some genuine affection buried beneath layers of political maneuvering. It's a fascinating glimpse into the complexities of ruling a vast empire while navigating the treacherous waters of familial politics. You'll find many historians debate the true nature of their bond. Beyond her brothers, Cleopatra's romantic entanglements are legendary. Her relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony are well known, often portrayed in dramatic fashion. But beyond the famous affairs, you'll discover that her family life was far more complex, involving alliances, betrayals, and the ever-present shadow of political expediency. The blurred lines between love, power, and survival are a central theme in Cleopatra's life. It makes you wonder, didn't she deserve more than this cycle of political marriage? So let's talk about Cleopatra's children. Think of them as extensions of her power, her legacy woven into the very fabric of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Her relationship with Julius Caesar resulted in Caesarion, a boy who some believe was destined for greatness. Imagine the whispers in the Alexandrian courts, the hushed conversations about his potential claim to the throne. He was a symbol of Cleopatra's ambition and her alliance with Rome, a potent blend of Egyptian royalty and Roman might. Then there were her twins with Mark Antony, Alexander Helios, and Cleopatra Selene II. These children weren't just heirs, they were strategic pawns in a game of immense power. Their very existence was a statement, a bold assertion of Cleopatra's enduring influence, even amidst the shifting sands of Roman politics. Picture the grandeur of their births, the celebrations, the hopes riding on their tiny shoulders. Their names, echoing the sun and the moon, hinted at their destined roles. You see, these weren't just children. They were living symbols of power, ambition, and the complex web of alliances that defined Cleopatra's reign. Their fates were inextricably linked to hers, their destinies tragically intertwined with the fall of Egypt and the rise of Rome. Their very existence became a testament to their mother's extraordinary life and relentless pursuit of power, a legacy that continues to fascinate us even today. Their story is a vital piece of the Cleopatra puzzle. So you've seen how Cleopatra skillfully navigated the complexities of her family. But her power wasn't just about bloodlines. She was a master networker, building alliances that extended far beyond her immediate circle. Think of it, powerful figures, influential leaders, all strategically woven into her web of influence. This wasn't just about personal connections, it was about securing her reign and expanding her reach. Her relationship with Julius Caesar wasn't just a romantic entanglement, it was a calculated political move. Caesar, at the height of his power, provided her with the military backing she needed to solidify her position against her rivals. Imagine the strategic discussions, the hushed whispers in opulent chambers, the careful planning that went into securing this powerful alliance. It was a game of chess played on a grand scale, and Cleopatra was the undisputed queen. But her alliances weren't limited to Roman power brokers. She understood the importance of cultivating relationships within Egypt itself, forging bonds with influential priests, wealthy merchants, and even military commanders. These alliances provided her with crucial support, both financially and politically, ensuring her rule remained strong and unchallenged. It was a delicate balancing act, managing these diverse relationships while maintaining her own authority. But building alliances also meant making enemies. You see, Cleopatra's rise wasn't a smooth ascent. Powerful figures, both within Egypt and beyond its borders, saw her as a threat. Think of the Roman Senate, always wary of powerful queens ruling such a strategically important land. They saw her ambition as a direct challenge to their authority, a dangerous game of power that threatened to destabilize the entire region. Then there were her own family members, those who resented her ascent to power. Sibling rivalries and political backstabbing were commonplace in the Ptolemaic dynasty. Cleopatra had to constantly outmaneuver those who sought to undermine her, using her charm and intellect to neutralize threats and secure her position. Remember, power in ancient Egypt wasn't just about military might, it was also about intricate webs of alliances and betrayals. Beyond the immediate circle of her family and the Roman Senate, you have to consider the various factions within Egypt itself. Different groups with their own agendas and loyalties constantly vied for power. Cleopatra had to carefully navigate these complex relationships, balancing alliances and managing expectations to maintain control. It was a high-stakes game, where one wrong move could lead to her downfall. Every decision was a calculated risk, a step in a perilous dance of power. So you're wondering about Cleopatra's faith, right? It wasn't just about political maneuvering. Her religion was deeply personal. She was a devout follower of the traditional Egyptian gods, particularly Isis, the powerful goddess of magic, motherhood, and fertility. Imagine her, adorned in fine linen, praying in a temple bathed in the warm glow of flickering lamps, the scent of incense filling the air. This wasn't just a show, it was a genuine connection to her heritage and a source of strength. But it wasn't just Isis. Cleopatra also embraced other deities, weaving them into the fabric of her life and rule. Think of the elaborate rituals, the symbolic offerings, the intricate ceremonies. She understood the power of religious symbolism, using it to solidify her position, to connect with her people, and to present herself as a divinely appointed ruler. It wasn't merely superstition, it was a sophisticated understanding of her culture and its power. Cleopatra's religious beliefs weren't just a political tool, they were a source of comfort and strength. In a world filled with political intrigue and constant threat, her faith offered a sense of stability and purpose. Imagine her finding solace in prayer, seeking guidance from the gods during times of uncertainty. This deep-seated spirituality shaped her decisions, her actions, and ultimately, her legacy. It's a crucial part of understanding the woman behind the myth. So you've learned about Cleopatra's life, her power plays, and her faith, but her impact goes far beyond just her reign. Think about it, she was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic dynasty, a dynasty that had ruled Egypt for centuries. Her death marked a significant turning point, the end of an era, and the beginning of Roman rule. That transition, that shift in power, profoundly shaped Egyptian culture. Cleopatra's reign, even though relatively short, saw a flourishing of art and architecture that blended Greek and Egyptian styles. You can still see the echoes of that unique blend today in surviving artifacts. Think of the sculptures, the intricate carvings, the magnificent temples, all subtly reflecting the fusion of cultures that she championed, even unintentionally. It's a lasting testament to the richness of her era. Beyond the artistic influence, Cleopatra's legacy is woven into the very fabric of Egyptian history. She's become a legendary figure, a symbol of power, beauty, and intrigue. Stories of her life, embellished over time, continue to fascinate people worldwide. You see her image everywhere, in books, films, even fashion, a testament to the enduring power of her story and its impact on the cultural imagination. So you've grasped Cleopatra's personal story, but her influence extended far beyond Egypt's borders. Her relationships with powerful Roman figures, particularly Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, dramatically reshaped Roman politics. Imagine the ripples, a queen from a faraway land, deeply entwined with the fate of the Roman Republic, a republic on the verge of collapse. Caesar's affair with Cleopatra and the subsequent birth of Caesarion, their son, dramatically altered the Roman power dynamics. Think about it. Caesar's legacy, intertwined with a foreign queen's, became a major political flashpoint. This wasn't just a personal romance, it was a strategic alliance that had far-reaching consequences for Rome itself. The very fabric of Roman power was being woven with Egyptian threads. Later, her alliance with Mark Antony further complicated things. Their union, and the power they wielded together, directly challenged the established order in Rome. It fueled the conflicts that ultimately led to the end of the Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. You see, Cleopatra wasn't just a player, she was a major force that irrevocably shifted the political landscape of the ancient world. She became a pivotal figure in the transition from republic to empire. So you saw how Cleopatra expertly navigated her personal life. But her impact went far beyond Egypt. The rise of the Roman Empire was a tumultuous period, and she found herself right in the thick of it. Her relationships with Caesar and Antony weren't just personal, they were strategic masterstrokes, influencing the very course of Roman history. You'll see how she used her charm and intelligence to maintain Egypt's independence amidst the growing power of Rome, a feat that few could have accomplished. Imagine the pressure, the Roman legions marching, the shifting alliances, the constant threat of invasion. Yet Cleopatra, using her political acumen, managed to secure favorable terms with these powerful men, securing Egypt's position for a time. It wasn't just about romance, it was about survival, and Cleopatra was a master of survival. She understood the game of power better than most, playing the Roman leaders against each other to her advantage. Cleopatra's alliances with Caesar and Antony directly impacted the Roman Republic's transition into an empire. Her influence extended beyond simple diplomacy. Think about it, these were the men shaping the destiny of the Mediterranean world, and Cleopatra, the last active pharaoh of Egypt, played a pivotal role in their decisions. Her actions, her shrewd alliances, and her very presence altered the political landscape, leaving an undeniable mark on the rise of Rome itself. You'll see how her legacy is intertwined with this monumental shift in power. So you saw how Cleopatra expertly navigated the political landscape, but her influence extended far beyond the borders of Egypt. Picture this. Cleopatra wasn't just a queen, she was a bridge between cultures, a master of Hellenistic diplomacy. You see, Egypt, even under her rule, was deeply interwoven with the broader Hellenistic world. Think of the vibrant exchange of ideas, artistic styles and philosophies that flowed through Alexandria, her capital, a melting pot of cultures. Her court was a dazzling display of this cultural fusion. Imagine the blend of Egyptian traditions with Greek philosophy and Roman practicality. She patronized artists and scholars from across the Hellenistic world, fostering a unique blend of artistic styles and intellectual pursuits. Think of the magnificent libraries and museums she supported, showcasing the best of both worlds. This wasn't just about power, it was about creating a legacy that transcended borders and time. This cultural exchange wasn't just a superficial veneer, it was deeply ingrained in Cleopatra's identity and her political strategy. By embracing and promoting this fusion, she solidified her power, presented herself as a sophisticated ruler, and fostered alliances across the vast Hellenistic world. She understood that cultural exchange wasn't just about aesthetics, but about building bridges and forging connections, a crucial aspect of her reign and her legacy. So you saw how Cleopatra expertly navigated the political landscape, but her influence extended far beyond the borders of Egypt. Cleopatra understood that a strong economy was the bedrock of power. She focused on boosting trade, turning Egypt into a bustling hub of commerce. Imagine the vibrant marketplaces overflowing with goods from across the known world, silks from the east, spices from Arabia, and precious metals from far-off lands. This wasn't just about accumulating wealth, it was about securing Egypt's position on the world stage. Cleopatra's economic policies weren't just about importing luxury items. She also championed Egyptian industries. She invested heavily in agriculture, ensuring plentiful harvests and food security. This wasn't simply a matter of feeding her people, it meant a thriving domestic economy, capable of supporting a large population and a powerful army. Think of the fertile Nile Valley, teeming with life, and the granaries overflowing with grain, a testament to her effective policies. This economic prosperity wasn't just a matter of chance. It was the result of shrewd planning and astute management. Cleopatra fostered trade agreements with far-flung kingdoms, securing favorable terms and ensuring a steady flow of goods. She understood the power of economic diplomacy, using trade as a tool to strengthen alliances and expand her influence. The wealth generated through her policies not only enriched Egypt, but also solidified her power, making her a force to be reckoned with on the world stage. You'll see how this prosperity played a key role in her reign. So you've seen her political prowess, but Cleopatra wasn't just a queen who sat on a throne. She was a shrewd military strategist, directly involved in battles and campaigns. Forget the image of a frail woman. Cleopatra understood military tactics like the back of her hand. She knew that a powerful army was essential for maintaining control, not just in Egypt, but also against her rivals. Cleopatra wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty. She personally led troops into battle, inspiring loyalty and fear in equal measure. her understanding of naval warfare was particularly impressive, and she cleverly used her fleet to secure vital trade routes and control the seas. This wasn't just about brute force, it was about strategic positioning and clever alliances. She understood the importance of supply lines, logistics, and maintaining a well-equipped army. This wasn't just about winning battles, it was about securing long-term dominance. Cleopatra's military acumen wasn't just about strength, it was about intelligence, adaptability, and knowing when to negotiate rather than fight. Remember, she wasn't just a warrior queen, she was a master politician who used military strength to achieve her political goals. But you know what? Cleopatra's story doesn't end with her death. Her legend, her image, continues to fascinate us. Think about it. She's been portrayed countless times in books, movies, and even video games. From Shakespeare's dramatic interpretation to modern-day reimaginings, she's a chameleon, constantly reinventing herself through the eyes of different eras. That enduring power, that's what makes her so captivating. You've probably seen her depicted as a seductive temptress, a cunning strategist, a powerful queen, or even a tragic heroine. The truth is, she was likely a complex blend of all these things, and that ambiguity is part of what keeps her story alive. Each portrayal reflects the values and biases of the time it was created, showing us how our understanding of history is constantly evolving. So next time you see a movie, read a book, or play a game featuring Cleopatra, remember that you're seeing not just a historical figure, but a reflection of our own ongoing fascination with power, ambition, and the enduring legacy of a woman who defied expectations and shaped history in her own extraordinary way. Her story continues to inspire, intrigue, and even provoke debate centuries later. What a legacy! So what is it about Cleopatra that keeps her relevant even today? It's not just her powerful reign, but the mystery surrounding her. You've seen the films, the books, the countless interpretations. Each one paints a slightly different picture, adding to her allure. She's a blank canvas onto which we project our own desires and fantasies. A queen who defied expectations and left a legacy that refuses to fade. Think about it. A woman ruling in a man's world, navigating political intrigue and powerful rivals. Her story is one of ambition, survival, and undeniable charisma. She wasn't just a queen, she was a master strategist, a shrewd diplomat, and a captivating personality. It's this blend of power and enigma that continues to capture our imagination. Cleopatra's image has been constantly reinvented, reflecting the values and biases of each era. From Shakespeare's portrayal to modern interpretations, she continues to be a symbol of female strength, a figure who challenges us to question our perceptions of power and ambition. She's a timeless icon because her story is ultimately about the enduring human quest for power, love, and legacy, themes that resonate across centuries. So, as the Nile flows gently, let's take a moment to reflect. Think about Cleopatra. Imagine her, not as a queen on a throne, but as a woman with hopes, dreams, and fears, just like you. She navigated a world of immense power and political intrigue, but at the end of the day, she sought peace, just as you do now. Let the calming visuals wash over you and allow yourself to relax. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, feel the weight of the day lift away. Let the sounds of the night lull you into a peaceful slumber. Cleopatra, despite her extraordinary life, also needed rest. She found solace in the quiet moments, the beauty of her surroundings, the comfort of her own thoughts. Find that solace within yourself now. Tonight, let Cleopatra's story inspire you to find peace in your own life. Her journey was filled with challenges, yes, but also with moments of tranquility and reflection. Embrace the quiet moments. Allow yourself to unwind and let go of any anxieties you may be holding on to. You deserve this peaceful rest. Let the serenity of the night envelop you. So what did you think of Cleopatra's incredible journey? If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating historical deep dives. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.